From Bo Gout, I think that's how you say it. Rocket Bunny kit is flawed designed, look better in renders, even slam cars with a kit look rally height. You are correct, sir. It is rally height looking because the fenders are actually cut higher to clear 16-inch wheels when you're, say, drifting or in motorsports application. Mira-san was actually right here, sitting right where I am.
13、14やったらもうちょっとスッキリ作れる。
So if it was like 13, 14,
Yeah.
then it would definitely be much lower.
Yeah.
But and 15 will be a little bit pushing it, but
Yeah.
definitely for 16 and to fit the 16,
Yeah.
it will have to go up much higher compared to like trying to fit a 13, 14 inch.
And explained that he cut it 2 inches higher because a customer in Japan who is a pro drifter, he didn't mention who, wanted to slam his Miata and still have maximum angle without rubbing on the fenders. So I got a video on that up top. Check it out. Chandler the Great. What kind of blocks do you have the car on? I need something a bit safer than jack stands. To be honest, I have jack stands under the car still, but these are race ramps. And these are like the 16, 18-inch platforms. I'm not sure which one it is, but they only have one, and it's the tallest one. Pretty awesome. It can handle, I think, 1,500 pounds per corner, so it's totally fine. But I still have jack stands on all sides just in case, because I'm not gonna trust my life on foam blocks. From JCal, he says, that splitter ooks like it's about to plow the fields. Looks like it's about to plow the fields. Not even! This thing's like, it's like 3 inches off the bumper. You guys haven't seen time attack setups where it's like this big and like 3 cars wide. You gotta check those out. World Time Attack, you'll see some crazy shit. This is nothing. Woody Woodall 90. The only bad thing about the diffuser is it covers the beautiful suspension work that the cut bumper exposed. And the amount of work went into designing and building it, you gotta run it at least sometimes. Well, the diffuser isn't made for looks, to be honest. I made it so I can streamline the airflow under the car. Basically, the front splitter, the mid cover, and the rear diffuser all work together as one unit. I still had to build the mid section. I got all the material over there for that. But the diffuser isn't for looks. It looks hideous, to be honest, for me. But it serves its function, and I'm gonna keep it. Simon Says TY says, imagine having a bigger tire width number than the horsepower the car will make. You don't know yet. I'm actually not going to keep the stock BP in this car, even though I have the turbo setup and blah, 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 blah. We have another Miata that we're going to put this BP in, and that's why I'm building it, because, you know, it's kind of cool because I build this car as is with the original engine, and then we're going to swap it. What are we going to swap it to? LS? 3-rotor? 4-rotor? 12-rotor? I don't know. We'll see. You'll see. SEQEX. How do you guys say that? Sequex? Sexquex? I don't know. What inspired you to build a Miata? Well, 2017, I flew out to Toronto to check out the iFest Import Fest show. So it's like their Hot Import Nights or Spokecom, their Week Fest. And I saw an NA Miata there with a Rocket Bunny kit. It was red? Maroon? It's maroon. And kind of like the new Mazda CX-5 maroon. And Nextmod, the company Nextmod, I think built that car because they had a big Nextmod logo right on the windshield. And I saw the car and I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. Like, I'm gonna build one. So, got back here, and a year after that, I said, screw it, let's go buy a Miata and do a Rocket Bunny kit, build it for SEMA, and then flip it. Sell it for like $6,000 or something. Do the kit, buy a cheap car, do the kit, do the body work, and then sell it for $6,000. Well, the selling part never happened, so here I am. A lot of money into it later, and still going. So there you go. Next question. is from David D. Rojas. What other ways is there to do the back quarter panel cut? What other ways are there? Well, the back quarter panel, if you guys watch my MIATA video, my Rocket Bunny install video, I basically show you guys how to cut the rear quarter panel. You could do that with an air saw. My air saw is back here somewhere. Let me grab it. This is my AirCat air saw, one of my freaking most favorite tools ever, right here. And I think it's the easiest, quickest way to to cut any body part, any panel. If you're cutting out people, you could use this to cut people too. You're crazy. But this is the best way to do it. Now, if you want to use a grinder with a cutoff wheel, you could do that too. Some people are really good with a cutoff wheel. I'm not one of them. So I use the AirCat air saw, and it basically solves all my issues. Those are pretty much the only two ways. I mean, you could get really creative with a jigsaw, but cutting through the secondary panel inside the quarter panel is pretty hard. So I would say the only other way I would cut the rear quarter panels with a cutoff wheel. Cutoff wheel makes a lot of sparks, makes a lot of dirt and noise, while you use the air saw, it's clean, no sparks, and easy. You know, I only made one pass, to be honest, and everything is pretty perfect. All right, next question. Axel_RX7. How much money have you put into your cars altogether? That is a question I do not want to answer because I don't even want to know myself. But I have a Excel sheet with all the parts that I've actually put into this car, and to the Cayman. The Cayman's right here beside you. You can't even see it. But the Cayman alone, in parts, were about $208,000 in parts. I'm talking about retail pricing here. I'm not talking about if the car was hooked up or if I got a cool deal through like a sale or a code or anything like that. I'm talking about strictly retail price, like what you would get it for if you ordered it online, not including shipping and taxes. So kind of put that on top. So the Miata right now, parts alone, excluding labor, excluding shipping, excluding tax, were about 90 grand in parts, not including the car. And the car is like 3,200 bucks, so whatever, right? Yeah, it is insane. And once I finalize the parts list and update it, I will show you guys part per part the cost, where I got it, and yeah. So you don't think I'm making this shit up, because people think I'm making stuff up. Like, yeah, it's a $90,000 Miata. Like, wow, that's crazy. Why? And you still have a stock engine in it? You know, so it adds up real quick. Parts, really good parts, adds up. Like, say, my high John wheels, 4,500 bucks instantly, easy. Tires, 400 each, 400 each, right? Paint job, body work, 8 grand, easy, from LTMW. Headlights from Rigid Industries. I don't know how much those things were, like 300 bucks? I don't know. IL Motorsports, signals right here, these were like 160 or something. I may be underpricing a lot of these things. So it adds up real quick. The seats are like 3 grand each. So what I'm saying is, if you pay retail for all these pieces, like you're shopping on Rev9, you're shopping on Miata Roadster, you're shopping at, I don't know, Vivid Motorsports, Evasive Motorsports, and you spend retail amount, you're gonna spend around 90 just to copy this setup right here without install. And what I'm saying is, if you're not proficient at doing things yourself, you're gonna pay extra, because shop labor rate is around $80 to $160 depending on how badass the shop is. Like Porsche Motorsports America, I think they charge like $160 an hour to work on your car, which is crazy. I did my whole car myself, And you know, retail parts still went up 200 grand. It's insane, insane. Obviously the Porsche is a little bit more expensive because it's a P car. If the bumper on this car costs $300, a bumper with the same amount of material on a Porsche would cost 4 times the amount. That's just how it is. So there you go. I don't want to go like too deep into it because I'll feel like I need to save money and not spend money on the car. So just lie to yourself. Lyndon.Rich. Any future plans with the Miata if future build in general? Future plans. Well, I still want to swap the engine. I'm not sure which way to go yet. I know I've been kind of hinting that I want to do LS. Yeah, LS is bang for the buck, really. Bang for the buck, make crazy amounts for power, very reliable, but, you know, common. Everyone does it. People say everyone does it, like to a Miata. Like, how many LS Miatas have you guys actually seen? Not online. You know what I'm saying? Like people say everyone does it. Everyone does it because you see it online. In real life, you see a lot more 1.8s, 1.6s. So does that mean you should swap yours because it's common and it came with a car? I don't know. But LS is one prospect. People want me to do rotary. I mean, I've had rotaries before and I've had issues with rotaries. I mean, they can be reliable for a short amount of time, but when you start boosting a rotary swap, dude, it gets costly, and the power that you get, you know, an LS can do for less. So, future plans, engine swap for sure, chassis work. I want to take the whole thing apart, coat everything, seam weld the whole body, tub the car because, you know, the fitment right now is at its max and I'm possibly going to hit things and rub things. Now I want to tub the car, shave the engine bay, wire tuck it, and yeah, it's a lot of work. I usually keep my cars for around 5 years. So it usually takes me about a month to build the initial car, and then I spend the next few years just finessing it. So there you go, future plans. Future build, R34. I'm gonna get an R34 for damn sure. If not an R34, GT3 RS in silver, because I love silver Porsches. Next question, Zev Reps. Do you have any other businesses or you're only producing videos? Love your content. I don't have another business. My daytime job is a content creator, basically, and I shoot photos, I shoot videos commercially.
TRA 京都三浦です。今回、オートサロン用に、FC3S 作りました。ボディキットはパンデムバージョン 1.5、違いは大きなウイング、これはドリフト用に作ったんですけど、ちょっとダウンホースが欲しいということで大きめのウイングをつけました。あとホイールは、BBS、LM のリバレル、9J、10J かな。でインテリアはロールゲージでパンデムバケットシート、パンデムハーネスでサスペンションは KW を改造してつけてます。
So I don't have another business. It's just what I do for a living is just a content creator. The Profit 513. How did you get OEM parts from Mazda for your Miata? You go to the dealer. Crazy, I know. It blows my mind. You go to the dealer and order the parts. That's basically how you do it. You can buy anything for these things nowadays because in Japan, they're redoing all of the parts. I mean, I think including the dash. So they have a OEM program in Japan, and I think it's hitting the States now that you can send them your Miata and they'll redo the whole car. You could spend up to 30 to 40 grand just redoing a whole car from the freaking ground up. So you live in Michigan and your car's rusty as hell and it's a rust bucket, whatever, shit box, I don't know what people call it. You send it to freaking Mazda, they'll redo the whole thing, give you a brand new car after spending 30 grand, depending on options as well. So you can get most of the parts for the NA Miata from Mazda. If a dealer says you can't get that part, they're probably lying, and you can mostly research this online. You can type the part number in and find it. If they say that they can't get it, call Mazda corporate. They'll tell you if it's available or not. Next, Sofana Sorfia. Interesting name. So much did the Cayman build cost you, and how many work hours? So much. How much? Maybe? Yeah, how much? I stated it in the last question, so there you go. MX Goyle. Goyle? G-U-E-E-L-L? Goyle? Do you regret investing so much money into your cars? Hell no! I only regret it when I count it. But no, seriously, it's a hobby. I could be spending my money on dumber things than cars. Cars kind of keep me afloat, keeps me sane. It's fun. I get to share the hobby with everyone by shooting the videos and shooting photos. But I just love the hobby. People think I build these things for shows. Not really. I mean, I take it to SEMA and that's about it. They sit here and I take them out on the weekends if they're working. I really don't give a shit about car shows. I go to car shows to film and create content as a day job. So for me, it's pretty boring. And you know, I didn't spend 90 or 200 or whatever 5 million on a car because I want to win a $20 trophy, to be honest. So not really a bad investment for me. For some people, it might be a bad investment. They just probably spend that on other things, you know. But you know, I spend my money on other things as well. RC cars, that's one. Motorcycles, guns, camera equipment, a lot of hobbies, to be honest. If you're happy, good. You know, it sucks when you earn and you save and you just hoard your money, right? And then you realize you're 85 and you have all this money and you didn't really enjoy your life because, you know, your dad taught you to save. And then you save and you save and you save and you never enjoy your money and you're dead. Then you pass that on to your kids. So it's a vicious cycle. I say work, earn your money, make sure you're responsible, have fun. No regrets there. Now, people think that I'm a Miata guy. I mean, I pretty much came out of the scene out of nowhere. About a year and a half ago, I bought this car pretty cheap, about $3,200 from an 82-year-old dude. And I thought it was a clean car. You know, when I filmed it the first day when I brought it home, it looked clean, but it had a lot of dings, crazy amounts of dirt and oil all over the engine. It was just leaking everywhere. I had to redo everything. Suspension blown, master cylinders blown, interior was dirty, and it was a lot of work to do. Yeah, and it was my first Miata, or it was actually. Then we got another one. But I have literally no experience with Miatas other than this one. So when you guys look at my channel and you ask me for tips and stuff, you probably know as much as I do because I just kind of go along as I mod the car. I know enough about cars because I've been building cars, motorcycles and whatnot for many years, including my Porsche right here it's out of the screen. But I kind of just wing it, you know, and I know how to do things properly. So when I build cars, I just kind of go the extra mile to make it a little bit better than what you usually would see. And so far, it's kind of been good. You know, this is not a cheap project. To build something like this, you need crazy amounts of time, really time. And money's secondary, obviously, but time is what you need to perfect the car. I mean, like the littlest things, like sanding down the kit to make sure it fits well, replacing the hardware, making sure there's no rust. If there's rust, you gotta clean the rust and then, you know, finish it and make sure it's good. It took me 30 days to build the initial car, but it took me another year and 2 months to perfect it the way it is now. And it's still not even perfect. I'm still tweaking it, you know? So it's an ongoing project. And if you guys want to get into the Miata community, have thick skin because people are mean. Miata people are mean, just saying. But do what you want, f everyone else. And if they don't like what you have, then big deal. Just do it because you're not doing it for people. You're doing it for yourself. So if you build it for yourself and not the internet, you will be happy. If you're always chasing that like, that view, that sub, you're not gonna have a good day. I do this because it's fun. I don't do this for subscriptions or followers. As you can see, my Instagram is private. I'd probably grow quicker if it was not private, but I really don't care for random followers. I like people who want to follow the build because they want to see the build, not because I just want followers. Peace.